Hello, everyone. Today we are going to address the central question of whether or not a believer can refrain from receiving Holy Communion under the species of bread, that is, the precious body, given that the substance of bread is no longer present. And if so, would this constitute a lack of faith on their part? This question is obviously something that Aquinas was not faced with given the lack of medical knowledge about things like gluten intolerance and celiac disease. Had he been aware of the issue, there is little doubt that he would have conceded the necessity of abstaining from receiving the precious body, given the twofold noble act of preserving one's health and that one might, with the biological reaction of the senses, have a reaction to the Eucharist in the same fashion as if the element of bread were still present. Though, of course, that is not metaphysically so, and therefore they could experience the negative symptoms resulting from gluten intolerance or celiac disease. The accidents of bread remain, even if the substance no longer does. The senses are how we discover God, as Aquinas illustrates elsewhere, but they obviously cannot detect human flesh in the Eucharist, certain miraculous events aside. The senses therefore react in the same way as if the bread were metaphysically still there in substance. Sensing the Eucharist becomes a matter of faith that requires the intellect. In fact, it requires the assent of supernatural faith. But if the senses cause a bad reaction to the body, that does not mean that the person somehow lacks faith, for we are not in control of these things. Therefore, we are dealing with two separate issues here: supernatural faith and the senses. And the church has wisely concluded that one may receive the precious blood under these circumstances and still be receiving the precious body and have access, therefore, to all the graces that the sacrament provides. Therefore, a person is perfectly at liberty to refrain from receiving Holy Communion under the species of bread and not be guilty of lacking in faith in the power of the Holy Eucharist or in the reality of the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus in the Eucharist. Thank you.